what I've been ever since I was born. At the commencement, I adorn squash, beans, and corn. Lots of strings and horns. Over the beat, swing of a horn. Outdrum the outcome, the child of athlete is back in action. Fact, not fashion. Most y'all internet has-beens, more like commercials with whack acting. From commercial to action, I'm laughing back up to laughing. I spit man, God, civilization, John G. Jackson, like a Gatlin, the last dragon. Cosmic memory of an Atlantean. E3 technology is who I am in skin. Walking the landmass as Atlas. Some say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people? Most been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil, who means to keep you cashless in the fastest society, where the vax and the mass are the blame for the dying street. You the root race, they medieval. Eat the cheap food they feed you, or read through these fools. Restore or rebel. Can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion. So please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late and hollow years. See the far and distant lands where tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective. Decision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace, where each one teach one to reach one, freeze one from under the trees and stump of the impeached one. Remember, all skin folk are not kinfolk. While I hold a sword in my left hand, I write a pen to pen quotes. Word to see Lord L. I'ma be more hell to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that agua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma. Something proper with no lube. The past 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fused my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils. I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little star, I got Brian I could think to. I blink through a wrinkle in time. Rip Van Winkle and rhyme. And my shit stink too. To link you to source, yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I'm on the brink too. They want to extinct you, your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, your oppressors liable. They try to write on my recital, yet my presence vital as the session's title. Welcome to the seventh cycle. The heart of man is as the sun, the reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition descended unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt the human intellect. And let the result fructify in the womb of a purified body. And you will develop the son of the sun, the quintessence, the stone of the wise, true wisdom, and perfect happiness. I teach you up. The human heart cries out for help. The human soul implores us for deliverance. But we do not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears and understands we call crazy and flee from him. This is a call to my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Some storm each clan better. Plant in the devil to stand the weather. It's a must we band together. Put that on Abraham and Esther, from Castilians to conquistadors, Iberians and traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders, missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have no respect for treaties and oath. Why expect more from those who want to conquest except war? They didn't bring women during the invasions. The minds were on rape, miscegenations, the spread of mis and disinformation, which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Washington, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcy and Brooklyn, projects and hoods when we were pushed in Cali to Florida. Hardly cushion. It's like the terrorists, never ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Gives I shot this sheriff meaning. Shut my field can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass with flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the annals. I bring heat, this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this cannibal. If your brain's deeply manacled, release or get treated damnable. Used to be Hannibal, I talk black hole. Fighting the line, now the chief's back with bulk that's big muscle drip. Up to tussle with Uncle Sam, Big Brother and his clique. I put that on Abraham and Esther. It's a must, we band together. Plant in the devil to stand the weather. Sound strong, each clan better. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This is a call to my ancestors. based on real life. It's nothing like the old school. High vibrations is what it feels like. It's nothing like the old school. This goes way back, before I was knee deep out in them streets, ganging it. Like the prison and that old crazy mess. This is what really makes me me, y'all, at its core. So check it out. I arrived in 1970, August 14th, to be precise. Eldest son, firstborn of 5, alive as the Christ. Had sunny days, just like I had spooky nights, which accounts for my old lows and my newly heights. Childhood, not of the norm. Excellence, how I perform. Deep down, I was mad, that's why now I bring the storm. Memorize Psalms and other passages of scriptures after learning the Quran to fend off the jinns' whispers. It was like my mother and father tried to hide us for the Pontius Pilates, Kiheras, and other outsiders. No celebrating holidays, kept away from ungodly ways of playing games, calling names the cost of what folly pays. I'm saying you wouldn't believe such discipline, wishing to make friends with the neighborhood children. But it was like wish again from early on. Was taught I was different, not better, just gifted. There's a big difference. Had telescopes, microscopes, chemistry sets, books, maps, paints, carpentry tools, wrote poems not yet known as raps. Learned alphabets and mathematics from my mama. Learned meditation and martial arts from my father. Watched my uncles create music, so I beat drums, played keyboards with my dad. The guitar he strummed, didn't consume pork nor beef. I would eat plums, not knowing this was part of who I would become. True stories. This is based on real life. It's before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, it's what it feels like. True stories. This is based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations, now around it feels like 1982 was no longer separated from the outside world off the porch. Yeah, I made it. First noticed her standing in my b-boy stance. Leapt at the chance and began to break dance on wooden floors. I got sore from the workout. It was me, Chili T, my man Shabazz, Muhammad, and Phil G. When I met her on 93rd, next Jeffrey Manor, master of all crews, was written on my banner. The manner of my approach. Yo, I rocked her. World with backspins, atomic flares, and helicopters, hella proper. Guys that were awesome, tried to get fresh. Up at Basma and on commercial. Attempted to test a bus moves on linoleum. Loved her on cardboard. Roughed it off on concrete with combinations I had stored. Poured my heart into her around the time I met Dula, Yusef, Rashi, Stony Island Park, CVS, school, the battleground, found passion. Another element turned my heart into graffiti, evidence of being present. Taggers united together, network of writers who most times put all-nighters. True riders, 1987, we were kings of the line. Won the epic war with Sash on the dead run. My guys, Dickie, Tron, advanced planes out and vanish. I do this for you and the true TUT. Client is the bandits. True story, it's based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, that's what it feels like. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations is what it feels like.
That's deep. Hold on, bye-bye.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that. 3-pound pressure, no weight pressure. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight pressure. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 1-pound pressure, no weight pressure. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender.
He loving it in that thing, huh? Come on, Papa. Come on. Tuna. I know I'm giving it to you a little late.
You rap that a coca plane by God, it's overdoing your time is in the end. Like Josh, I look without saying he put me on the letter, but just the wind and the rest is about to get cold.
It's not the homemade one. I know you like the homemade better, but I'm trying to hold on as much as possible. Here, I'll give it to you over there.
Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the pitiful simple? My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Of the black blasted cubist, don't take any type of skill. I'm ill with all citizens who haven't took a stand or kneels too late when the caps get pissed. Don't believe in GC type. Going here to close the home, you gotta hack the bone when it got the dome. When it's over song, all bad of my vision through sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I bite from above. I've been given the right, so you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight, we gon' let them out, so gon' pass the kite.
It's up there.
No way.
So I know you're going up there. It's right there, Papa. Right here.
No
Here, Papa.
No way. Drop to your pressure. Me no surrender. No way.
Sorry. There you go.
No surrender. No way. Drop to your pressure.
Me, no surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, if you taught that from school, everywhere, big business, if you want to be successful.
Herbo, Alicia and Cooper, Ganja, what's going on, beloved? Snoo, what's up, love? What's up, baby? I'm gonna change something up a little bit today. I'm not gonna be going ballistic, because you know that's kind of it's truth, but it's an act. I don't mind telling you, because it'll never change. It's an act. And when I say act, it doesn't mean that it's not real. It's just, like I said, I test things. If you know in the Bible, right? Let me turn this down. Why is this doing that, bro? They're so busy being all up into stuff. I'm not giving it no energy. So, in the Bible, right, the title of the book of Acts comes from the Greek word praxis, a word often used in early Christian literature to describe the great deeds of the apostles or other significant behaviors, right? So when we look at praxis, not apraxis, for those who get all caught up in certain words without really studying these things. I want you to have a baseline before I get to saying what needs to be said, okay? What is this clipboard stuff, man? No, don't want that. Man, why they gotta be so damn dumb? Excuse my language. Okay, here we go. I always doing the most. So we're not going to look at praxis in the Bible. I'm going to read it right here. I have a lot of stuff up top that I'm going to use. Praxis is the process by which a theory, lesson, or skill is enacted. This is what they say. You need to look up the word enacted, the word theory, and a lesson. And we'll get to that. Okay? Embodied, realized, applied, or put into practice. Does it negate as what we believe a truth is, right? Let's look at the word truth. I want y'all to have a baseline because I'm gonna bring some clarity. I just need people to listen, okay? To be able to smell. The quality or state of being true. He had to accept the truth, the which is true or in accordance with fact or reality, as far as the noun, as in the truth. A fact or belief that is accepted as true. Accepted. I need you to listen to key words here, okay? And we're not going to look at it as a synonym, which it pretty much is, accepted, right? We're going to look at generally believed or recognized to be valid or correct. Therefore, it is not. So let's go back to praxis, right? Praxis is the process by which a theory, conspiracy theory. Without a theory, you can't have a conspiracy. That means they lose to something. And without the conspiracy, would there be a theory? That means the conspiracy means it's secretive. What does secretive mean? Aren't we getting into the dogma of the realm of language? This is what I need y'all to listen. I just need y'all to follow me. So when we're looking at praxis, the process with which a theory, lesson, or curriculum, school, a skill, I had to study for 9 years to get my first, to become a sabanam. Okay? In Taekwondo. Okay? Competitions and everything, when most people do it in 12 to 20. That's not ego. That's a healthy ego. Remember I said kill the ego? I mean the poor, pathetic thing that applies to division. Everything's going to circle here. You need to really, really focus. And if you can, record this. So, an act, the title of the book of Acts comes from the Greek word praxis. It means, what is a truth? A truth could be a lie, right? What is a lie? Y'all need to further this. This so-called language, I hate these words, we speak, right? Or spells. When a lot of you text me and send me stuff, I don't look down at you. But I sit there and I'm like that big gorilla in the water and it's playing that song from that movie, I guess Fame, and it's spinning around. That's me. Just saying, throwing water everywhere, spinning around, because I'm a maniac, a man. It's all in fun. Not what's going on, because most of you conclusively believe. That means without knowing. That you know what you're saying. Why do I say this? All right. Some of you can't wait for Friday, right? Because you got the people that goes, thank God it's the weekend. That's making you weak because you're weakened. People say it's no way. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay? Long time. So, our beautiful beloved sister, these days brought up something was pretty interesting, and I loved it because I watched it when it came out about 6 or 8 days ago. The Anunnaki 1 and 2. It's on YouTube. And what troubled me, and it didn't trouble me where my spirits, meaning like alcohol, for those who know what the Latin word or Arabic word alcohol is, it means to divide you, to remove you from self. You will never be able to ascend. Anyway, that's why it's called spirits. Or gin and juice sipping. When these goofies over here was Snoop was talking about gin and juice, they were talking about something to occupy you, to take you away from who you are. But most don't know this. But just like hypnotic, why would you take Hindi based on a deity and mix it with hypnotic to make the Incredible Hulk? Isn't that a delusion? So anyway. The Hatha materials, right? Know the book I have, Lemuria, the Women of Lemuria. All that stuff I'll get back to. I find things very poignant at the time to discuss. That's why I'm reading 2 books, and then I have to read the Negro Project, and I have to finish. All right, and I know I do. I just want to allow this system to reset, hopefully, with William Cooper, Behold a Pale Horse, because it's paramount. But the Hathas, or in the Anunnaki, and you know that as far as the label Hethys, I believe it was Hethys or Hassat or whatever it was, right? When people write stuff, in this world, you need to pay attention. It is important to keep you running in circles, not being able to see the end. So I'm reading one on the Hatha Mathers, which with the Hatha materials that point to another place. It points to another. I don't know if I brought it down here. I know I was reading upstairs with my new custodian books. I was reading that and the DNA of the Gods. We'll get back into that too. I may have brought it down. It might be upstairs. But anyway, the Hatha materials. Y'all know the book that I'm talking about. I've got tons of books up in the front over there. I got so many books. Anyway, they are an ancient civilization, a realm, and from a different realm, who came to nourish us, they say. But also the Hatha Mathers as far as Hassad, is to believe Osiris is God. The God's wet nurse. It's so much. That's why I say be mindful and careful when you listen to these people. It doesn't matter if you read one book. It's easy to get caught up in the sump. Now, no, this is because it's she put it up and I thought it was great, but I commented on her post too. Because I thought the movie, the video, whatever, it was a great. But if you don't know no better, member, not remember, member. Member means one, right? It means you, right? Member, not remember. It means to reinvent or anyway, member that it is important that you look, if you're going to in that vicinity, to acquiesce all information that you can. There's something that's great, okay, that I love, and it's the Bible verse. Let me see if I can pull it up. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So the whole purpose of the education system to incorporate this foul language, to which our people didn't really speak. I remember my great grandmother, when she talked with a real, we say twang, it was a twang. She still had the accent of the ancients. My great uncles, if y'all wasn't around us and you listen to them talk, you would say, what the is he saying? What are they saying? It's just like, for those who watch, what's that guy, the Rome in the Family? You know, his pappy from Mississippi, from Louisiana, he's always drinking natty. And you know how he talks? Well, it sounds like he's saying nothing, but I'm somebody that followed them since their inception, and I just like them because I look at it for other reasons, medical. But regardless of that, I hate the word medical, but you know what I mean. I actually understand him now. I don't think y'all get it. I don't think y'all get it. All those words mean nothing, but actually they're casting a spell, because you, without knowing, believe in what I'm saying. That's why I say it's important. Unless I say a fact or I say puzzle pieces, I'm alluding to something else. I can't tell you everything on here, man. Okay? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. When these bastions came up with this COVID nonsense and everything else, the first thing they did was use words that would cast a spell. And then the deception of the very implement that says it's here to protect America's interests, which it is not. And you can call it the CIA, Mossad, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. The fact that people are in the world running around doing foolish things, endeavors, fighting and murdering and killing, because that is what they speak over themselves. And that's the energy you give. Whenever I see these little puppets, little light skins on YouTube in their world of warism, because I'm special forces and this, that, and please. Anyway, right? Okay? Because of Hollywood and everything else, Benghazi and 13 and Benghazi 13 and all these other movies and The Lone Survivor, when they said that he was running, he left everybody to die. The truth came out by the people who watched the actual footage of what happened. Talking about he fell down hills and got me. Now he was running, he was scared. Marcus Luttrell and his brothers in Texas, right? He's part of the government now. Listen to me. I'm not throwing hate. What I am saying is that if you don't know no better, you will never accomplish or do better. And that's casting a spell. So it's imperative that you really pay attention. All right, when I read, when I'm conveying things. Otherwise, you're going to keep running around listening to people who are full of drama. Who cares about what's going on with Diddy? I thought it was comical. I look at the one who him and Clive Davis had dealings with, Interscope Records and all that CIA operative who has money into the prison system, that fake Jew. That's what I look at. I can say fake Jew. You know why? Because that's what they are. And if they want to sit here and say you limit it on ads because they pushing a war narrative, YouTube, you are another problem, and I can cast a spell on you. I'm very good at it. I never always say baby steps. I never baby steps. Anyway, I always say youngling steps or advances. I gotta be careful how I say advances. There's another way to communicate, and I would love to hear y'all be able to learn how to do it. Learn. I'm telling you these words, y'all. When you start coming into reality, it's like it makes me sick when I'm speaking this way. I don't want to say the word love no more. I want to, because it means the opposite. I can say, it's not here. It's not here. This is the King James. I can say, because the word love comes from amor, which is a little bit. And love actually means evil or evolve, to de-evolve or evolve. It doesn't mean conceptually what you believe in, or because you don't know what you think it is. That's like Lucifer isn't the bad guy. Just a distraction. Who went back and saw the video I did over a year ago talking about all the different names? Gave the references of sources. Nobody else knows about this. I'm gonna point out something else. I got my green tea and ginger. This is gonna make me. I'm scared to drink it right now because it's gonna make me run to the bathroom. Shrinks up the prostate and stuff, you know. But yeah, let me get this over with. And I'm getting ready to cut up some turmeric and some stuff to make some rice, yellow dirty rice. And I gotta go pick up. My boys bringing me some ground venison. I don't really like eating meat. There's a reason why, and I'll explain that. Yet I'm a little different, y'all. So just take it as that. Don't attempt to dig somewhere when you can't even consummate a relationship with the truth of your native language or indigenous or autochthonous language. Just hear me out. Okay. They tell you that God, all-powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing. Do you think that the creator of creation would have to allude to that? Do you think, process of thought, I don't want to character assassinate, do you have a notion that the creator of creation, creators, whatever, right, we need to implement fear or tell you that he is jealous? Does you think that it needs to tell you it's a he or a she? Not getting into the noun and pronoun thing, okay? No, not doing it. Your existence to come through the universe, the woman's room. I tell you, the woman is power. I don't care what y'all think. For those who still hold the word woman, okay? See, the pronoun was because people like me are here to tell you something different. They wanted to mess it up and confuse all these younglings' heads and give it a new direction. Okay? This year's a week, trust me. And the man is to protect that power. I am really getting tired of saying this. And some of you believe that you can speak power into a future that doesn't exist. Because you have a hard time interpreting when somebody's expressing something. You don't really get it. And it's saddening to me. Do you really think that your creator would have to say that he's a jealous one? No, he put you here to walk. He gave you everything definitively. Everything is within you and around you. You just refuse it. Nobody's supposed to be working. are paying for nothing. The Federal Reserve is not even part of the corporate nothing. But why are they using it? Because these people are the bastions of so-called civilization. These are the dirt things created and nurtured in secret behind you to be put into positions. Michelle Obama is a dude. Barry Obama is gay. And sorry to say this, a Muslim. But a hypocrite. So let's not get it twisted. He's one of the fake Muslims that want to cut your head off, not a real one who make their deen and do the things they're supposed to be being on their deen, not sacrilege as far as the narrative. Jesus existed, but not with the name. Many of them. The problem is you can't determine or decipher it because there's one here. Remember the movie? With Duncan, there can only be one. You better believe there's one who is sick and scarred. Doesn't want you to live as long as it. There have been people through time that lived over 1,000, 2,000 years, written in history, as you should be able to live. The problem is you choose not to listen. You don't. Let me type this word. Let's see if it'll say it. What y'all do is I don't know it's not gonna let it say it. Well, hold on, let me see.
Abscond.
Leave hurriedly and secretly, typically to avoid detection or arrest for an unlawful action such as theft. She absconded with the remaining $1,000, but that's also with your lie. To leave with the lie, to stay in the lie, because you're comfortable in the lie. A false conviction. Doesn't mean also prison by a fake judge who's a magistrate who actually is, a fiduciary, supposed to pay you for your time wasted based on a system that is corrupted by the very presence of them things that shouldn't be here. But because you're not in your true presence, you're very livid, so you abscond. Doesn't mean that you physically run down the street like these little funny videos we see of these guys running. Snoo, baby girl, there one with this guy with flip-flops, look like a sardine or something flipping out the water, being tossed by an orca. But the thing is, most people have a hard time hearing these things because we really think that we know everything. And I'm here to tell you, you don't. Oh, it's all in you. Every bit of information is within you. Every bit. And when I tell you you're powerful, it's not because I need you to hear that. You need to know that. Don't believe it. Forget believe. And I already told you these words, they compel you without you knowing it. Ugh. Anyway, you have to tap back in because it gets a little lonely when you know things that others don't and you hear things that most should be able to hear. Okay? I'm getting tired. This is not a battle. I don't care what your fake conviction is. I'm tired of it. I've been to places and I've seen what happened in a matter of seconds. You have become too comfortable in your falsitudes. And the only way your power would mean anything, just listen, I'm going to say it the way y'all, because, these words, is if you were together and you're not because you're ignorant. You keep fighting it irresponsibly. Oh, that word too. Oh boy. You keep poking at something as if it's supposed to give you freedom. That word shouldn't even exist. Because you're not slaves. You're capitulating to something you shouldn't. And you're carrying yourselves as if you're a Slav or a misdirect, disfocused. Oof. Listen here. Whew. Like, y'all really don't get it. people, I talk to people all the time. It's just not my baby girl. It's just not those who mean the most to me. A lot of people ask me wonderful questions. I say wonderful because there's something to it, and they know something's wrong. It's just when you have a conviction, I have to call it for what it is, because you really don't know. Because if you knew, if you really knew, you change direction. That's everybody. I was grounding this AM. And we got a big old van there. They have packed up and left. Chinese, so-called. They're not even Cathay, but the new age Chinese, right? That's not what they are. I'm not even going to say what they are. Either the Gujars or what they are. Anyway, that's the light term. I'm grounding. I'm standing there. And I do my arms and stuff. Walk out. And so, in the ignorance, one decides they want to be loud. Now go over to Big China and try that, where they do meditated yang and Tai Chi. They'll come up to you real quick, be quiet, even though you could snatch them by the throat and everything. I didn't say nothing. I didn't have to think nothing. When I did my first Om, she stopped halfway through sentence. And it got quiet. Even the crows and the pigeons, you know how they do that? It's not like they're talking, like somebody's chatting in around. And the crows that are always around me, stop. This is not a game. I didn't give it but one thought, but I gave it a whisper. And that's exactly what I got. And the sun was beaming down on me, that I turned my head to the right and I stared at it for about 3 minutes. Just magnificent. I felt it coming through my feet as if the split from the dome's top was coming on my crown. You got to change your convictions, people. There's a lot more you can do when you get to the point you don't have to do nothing. There are things walking around, watching and looking. One of the best green teas in the world. Rishi. It's non-bleach. It's a real tea leaves, the way I like it, the way I used to grow it. After I got out the military, I used to grow my own tea leaves. I should be doing that now. And about a quarter cup of ginger, real ginger. It's not that much caffeine, it's natural. Anyway, I hope that was informative. Don't worry, we're going to read today. I'm waiting on, hopefully 3 books arrive today. Tomorrow, I got to go to Flagstaff. I have an appointment for my wrist that swells up ever since I got in the military, my knee, all this stuff. And I'm going to address this individual. I'm going to let her know I'm not here, my friend. I'm not here to smile in your face. I don't have to say my ancestral soil. I don't have to say none of that. I'm going to let her know. I don't respect you. I don't find you necessary because you're a liar, like the fake Jews and everybody within this fake government. And that's what you're going to do, walk away and lie. So we can get this on, or you can go about your business. I'm going to actually say something different. Yet it'll allude to that fact. And it doesn't matter what agent they send. I put things in play. I'm telling you, you are more powerful than you can even imagine. And I don't have to use something to make things happen. I lean on the fact that you have a self-interpretation, a self-interpreter of magnifying a magnificence in your being, to know that you're sentient. This right here, this physical, this is not it. You can create anything here you choose to. Get uncomfortable. Get a little pressure. Allow yourself to expand. And this is for everybody. Y'all know I don't believe in crayon colors and races and ethnicities. I know some things. I know some things I've been trouble. We're not here for that now. Different times. And these are different times. One's ignorance should not be the dilemma. You want me to look those words up? So, because I hate saying these words. I detest. Listen, their ignorance, their baby existence should not be a fracture or fractal upon your greatness. Stop moving alone. If you were meant to be alone, there would be nobody here with you. You don't need to go back to George Carlin. People were saying this stuff long before him. Okay? I really hope you're paying attention. I really hope so. Who else came in? Yeah, real estate, business, and healthcare is all fictional. That's what controls the narrative. Remove that from your dialect. Even though you have to intercede somewhere, when you start moving in a different statement, existence, then you come into a different reality. You are still holding on to their false legacy. You will have implicated yourself, as I stated earlier. Please listen, people. This is not complicated. It's not fake rocket science, people. The illusion of knowing is not knowing. I ask you to listen because I actually know what I'm saying to you. These words. I remember I said words of frequency. They cast spells. So every time and I say we as if we're all together. No, we're not. We're not on one chord. They say a chord. That's meaning either under or over. We're not even in the. Oh, listen. Just listen. It's good for this thing to think, but when it has no true direction other than what's been given, it negates something else. Okay. Anyway, appreciate you guys. To say I appreciate you. And remember, I was always saying there's only one kind of love, but it ain't the word love because it can be spewed in many different ways. Now, we can give it power. We can give it meaning. But there are ancient words that are being utilized to keep you entrapped, people. That's why I say sidanelv. You get it now? It's like a grapevine with all the grapes intact. And nothing gets obscured because one grape is missing when we realize that all the grapes are there. See, right now, everybody's got it in their head, a grapevine, streaming time, lifeline, but you got 2 or 3 grapes on it. How does that feel? These words, I'm telling you, when you start really grasping a hold, you'll start realizing that there's another language within you. I'm not making this up. All right? Anyway, let me get off of here because this stuff is going to be kicking in a minute. And I appreciate y'all. We're going to start off with the Negro Project. And I know the cliffhangers for a reason. And we'll get into Behold the Pale Horse of William Cooper because you really need to listen. The Federal Reserve has nothing to do here. The corporations have no legal standing. They're not supposed to even be paying governments for nothing. All right? Report it to who, beloved? Women are the power and you're the strength. Report it to who? Everybody's seeing it. No, it doesn't interfere with anything. Even the word interfere, look it up. What I'm expressing is the fact that this language that even when this is why I like speaking other languages, that this is really a deep spell, and it's the Babylonian text of something new. In order to have a new world order, you must destroy the knowledge of the old order, which the old order can never be destroyed because it is set in place, because it is not fictional, it's order. So there's nothing wrong. Okay? No apologies, beloved. I can dig it. I'm just asking everybody to listen, because what I have to give and what I've been giving for a long time, these words, you don't get it. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I'm tired of using this language. Seriously. It's not because I can speak a few others. It's because I am tired of it. I know what it's doing, how it's capitulating people into a false narrative or a thought and thinking that they know the words are spells. They got you working all week, slaving, right? To get to a weekend because you're weakened. Then they say, well, we're going to subjugate you to a Sunday that's a false day. But they say that is the seventh day. And what do? What is it all about? It is to keep everybody running in a false circle that keeps everybody divided at each other's throat and neck with enmities. And nobody really gets it. My vocabulary is extensive. And some people would think, oh, you got a big head because they minimalize themselves. That's the division. The grapevine, the tethering line, the stripping time, with no grapes on it. That's how everybody's moving. And people believe, you remember what the word believes? They know when it's all in you, but you haven't tapped into it. Otherwise, you would be on the same accordance, which is not in the manufacturing assembly line. It would be, again, like the tree of life. Many arms that matter, that reach, because as I said, we create oxygen. They don't. I'm not making this up. And when you start coming into this realization, wow, this language, realization. Y'all, excuse me, I'm just going to speak so y'all can infer, you can interpret it, and you can figure out the words later and you can change. Because you got to pressure people. You got to allow yourself to stop thinking or believing you know when you don't know. Because if you did, we would be conveying on a different level. When I'm pointing things out and I'm holding you accountable, you keep coming up with excuses, I'm holding you accountable because you have not been triggered to see, because you are not doing the real work to find that truth of harmony, that balance, that frequency, that thing that's based on the real. That's why I was talking the numbers and everything. There is not a circle jerk. This is bringing y'all around baby steps, and I'm feeling like baby steps is not doing it. You have to, y'all gonna have to start taking some leaps and bounds, because it's coming. It's coming to a place. You don't want to repeat this. You get me? All right? Ascension is paramount. You're going to ascend or descend. Descending means you can run through a revolving door over and over. Ascension means you know your truth. That word truth. You know. You have regards for the sentiments of your existence. There is an embedment of empowerment. You don't have to be triggered by anything and everything out here. You'll bask on the reality of your realization, knowing that the system is fraudulent. Therefore, you can walk away or step out of it, remove the obstacles and the lies of them, and be in your truth of existence. Our truth. Be the embodiment of what you were meant to be, or be the embodiment of your sentience. That's what I'm saying. And stop making excuses with someone who knows excuses the moment he hears them. Pathetic ones. The word pathetic is even jacked, but it is what it is. Apathetic, pathetic, pathetic. Like I'm going to be a succubus to you? Like I'm just going to drink that up? No. And I'm going to be engorged with you as one? No. Apathetic? No. Do you get where I'm coming from? what direction I'm focused, what language I am basking. God, dog, there's so many ways this could be put. Anyway, how can people discover things that already been here? Do you get where I'm coming from? No one stands alone, but you walk divided in the misinterpretation or of your existence because you don't move as one. Didn't I say I don't want nobody following me or me? I don't follow nobody. I need y'all to walk with me, beside me, along with me. Do you think that that means literally that it means to move as to move? You're here and they have everybody. What is this? In fact, this I gotta get off here because I feel it. Bubble. Anyway, what does the school do? Remember I was talking about A, B, C, D, E, Fs? What are the first things the teachers do? The dunce hat. They belittle, berate, they destroy. They don't teach nothing. Well, they do. Exactly what they do is teach. They don't nurture. They raise. They tear down. They don't build. There's no ascension. There's no truth. It's only relegated by the relevance of their existence in the narrative that they've been put forth because they've been accepted by a false degree for the doctrine of lies. And here we are. I shouldn't even have to explain that, yet I don't mind. I don't mind. That means I have no knowledge. Ugh. When y'all start really studying and paying attention to people talking around you, don't get offended or anything because they don't know. The knowing. And everything that I'm saying or speaking, even in the light when you start accepting or coming into your truth, can be perverted. You can negate one way or the other. All right. So let me get off of here. I'm getting the bubble guts. Ginger will do that, just like clove tea, just like clove tea. Have before you go to sleep, eat a piece of garlic, a whole clove. It's gonna burn your mouth if you've got a nasty mouth. Eat a clove of garlic before you go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, in the AM, if you don't have to run right out the door, take about 4 or 5 cloves in a cup of boiling water, stir it, let it steep for 3 or 4 minutes, drink it. That coffee ain't got nothing on it. And then make sure you take a little tiny, you know how you get the little ketchup, the little condiment, little PVC free containers. They're very hard. It's almost if you hit somebody where you probably put to the white meat, right? Put you about a 1/4 cup of sliced ginger in there. You cut yourself. Take that and chew on it. Okay? But also in here, know without extrapolating upon it, it's beneficial. Okay? Stay away from that processed crap called meat. Stay away from the facts that they're going to lie about it all because they've already been poisoning it all. All right? I want to find this. Let me see this here. Let me see. And then I get off here. I'm staying too long. Talk about very few things. But obviously, I find it very, very important. So you can look up the roots of the word love, however you want to do it, if you're going to look it up, all right? I would advise you to have it up. Another book site I've been using is called Biblio, for those who aren't aware, because I read a lot of books on occultism, all right? Why do I do that? Because I know that's why. So let me see if I can pull it up. because you know you're going to have the hypocrisy, right? And if you allow the hypocrisy to come into you, then which it is already there. So let's look at, because we have a lot of fake doctors and doctrines and bastions of so-called civilization who don't know no better. No, I conveyed that there's some people who are a little different, but it's not everybody. Even for me, veganism is the best thing. But I want y'all to know, because the misdirect can take away your focus when you say the Bible, Jesus, and veganism, and then see the perversions by those, because they know that being a vegan, that's why they love to eat our flesh in the past, because we didn't eat animal meats. It makes you stink and everything else. So anytime they go to anybody like Rabbi Simcha Roth or anybody like that, stay away from them. They're only sharing with you with what your ancestors already knew, like I said, the King James Bible. So anyway, Isaiah 11:7. God's last dietary law states, the wolf will live with the lamb, the cow will feed with the bear, the lion will eat straw like the ox, and a little child will lead them. And neither will harm nor destroy on my holy mountain. The beginning and the end are vegan, because veganism is the only way to live without bloodshed and cruelty. Now, if you look at this right here, some other descriptions they have, who knows if the spirit of man rises upward and the spirit of the animal goes down into the earth? That's not true. They're all sentient. So no one knows. And what does the word know really mean? So we look at, as far as Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 19 to 21. But in the day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field and the birds of the air and the creatures that move along the ground. Bow and sword and battle will be abolished from the land, so that all may lay down in safety. I will betroth you to me forever. We didn't have no problem with our buffaloes, and then they bring this pig and this cow, and they bring these hybridized things in the 1800s, whatever they are, right? And all you see is the staple of your diets. And most people are in ignorance because they don't realize that it's highly toxic to you. Survivability was because the waters were being poisoned. And even though our people were fighting, you'll never see the stories because you will still be fighting. They need you to be docile. A language conveys that over you. Fake religions by these so-called black ministers and preachers have been part of the deception. And most people are seeing it, but it doesn't mean that you have to run over there and curse them for it. They have cursed themselves. It's like somebody saying, that Diddy you put up with Diddy and Meek Mill. I said, be quiet. That's Diddy getting it from Meek Mills, because I've conveyed with other people saying that Diddy used to walk around with a plug up his thing. It's none of my business. I don't care. But most people hear what they want to hear based on a false perception, because they don't have no content in the structure of their existence. Because we're polluted and diluted. A righteous man cares for the needs of the animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. So all these big game hunters and all these people, it's easy to set them on high and look at them as if they did something great, especially when you watch Godzilla and Gamera and monsters destroying cities, when it's the very ones you say govern you. How come you don't govern yourself? Dominion, thou shalt not kill, in the lost gospels. How many of y'all read the Apocryphy? I'm not getting into religious. I told you that it all comes from us. If you got an issue with that, that's something you got to issue with yourself. If you don't know how to relegate yourself to some other facet of living and knowledge of knowing, it's nothing I can do for you until you come to that. Everything is laid out in front of you. Dairy was never meant for the children to drink. It messes their bones up. It's supposed to have minerals, people. You don't need protein. Your body produces it as long as you have the minerals and the composites of NMN, which is natural in the body, and everything else. If we were together, this would be accomplished. But because everybody's distance, you will look in the refrigerators we created, and you will look at the individual who is sick around you, and you will partake in it because it's the most available thing. You will partake in everything because you have not changed. I know some people say, well, Pastor Dow, he got rid of, I don't care about the drama of certain things. Certain individuals do things because they know things. And in doing that, in this so-called world, everyone makes mistakes. The thing is, y'all like the word love. That's why I said love is a curse. It's the opposite. Because if you had a true affiliation and a affinity for one another, to walk as a member of one, you wouldn't be caught up in all the negativity. All right? It's calling me.